Hi, in this video I'm going to discuss the convergence of the series by applying the ratio test and the root test. So in the previous videos we have studied the convergence of the series by using the integral test, P series test, comparison direct test and limit comparison test. So now we are going to discuss the convergence of series by using the ratio test and the root test. So let us see what the ratio test says that. Let the series an be a positive series and the ratio of n plus 1 term and n of the series as n tends to infinity, that is L, where L is a maybe finite or infinite. Then the series converges, the limit point L is less than 1. Suppose the series diverges if L is greater than 1 and the test fails if L is equal to 1. So let us move to the root test here. So what root test says that let the series n be a positive series and limit as n tends to infinity of n o to the power of 1 by n is equal to L. If L is less than 1, then series convergent. If L is greater than 1, the series diverges. If L is equal to 1, the test fails. So let us move to the remarks of the ratio test and the root test. The ratio test is suitable if the series has the factorial. Suppose the series has factorial and power of a constant, so ratio test is suitable. Suppose if series has the nth power, then you can apply the root test. Let us move to some examples. Consider the series sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity of n plus 3 factorial by 3 factorial into n factorial into 3 power n. So this series has factorial and nth power of a constant. So that you can apply the ratio test. So here nth term is n plus 3 factorial by 3 factorial into n factorial into 3 power n. Then n plus 1th term written here, replacing n by n plus 1. N plus 1 plus 3 becomes n plus 4 factorial. 3 factorial is a constant written. In place of n written n plus 1 factorial. 3 constant written. In place of n written n plus 1. Now let us take the ratio of n plus 1 term and nth term. Then limit as n tends to infinity. So this can be written as n plus 1 term written. This is nth term. N plus 4 factor can be written as n plus 4 into n plus 3 factorial. N plus 3 factorial, n plus 3 factorial get cancel. Remaining is n plus 4. 3 factorial, 3 factorial get cancel. Here n plus 1 factor can be written as n plus 1 into n factorial. N factorial get cancel. So remaining n plus 1 are written. Here 3 power n plus 1 can be written as 3 power n into 3. 3 power n and 3 power n get cancel. Remaining 3 written. So now you apply the limit as n tends to infinity. So here take n outside. 1 plus 4 by n. Here n take it outside. 1 plus 1 by n. N cancel. When you apply the n tends to infinity, 4 by infinity that is 0. That is here 1 and here 1 is 3 here 1 by 3. So L is equal to 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 is less than 1. So therefore the series is converges by the ratio test. Let us take a second example. Summation of n is equal to 1 to infinity 4 power n n factorial whole square by 2 power n factorial. Even though this series has factorial and power of the constant term, power is n and constant here. Here nth term is this I have taken. Let us have n plus 1 term by replacing n by n plus 1 in the nth term. So 4 power n here 4 power n plus 1 return. N factorial, n by n plus 1, here will get n plus 1 factorial. Another one n plus 1 factorial. Here replace n by n plus 1, we get 2n plus 2 factorial return. That is n plus 1 term. Let us take the here. So because the series has the factorial, so I think ratio test is appropriate. So I have taken the ratio of the n plus 1 term and the nth term. N plus 1 term are written, nth term. So after simplification, we have 4 into n plus 1 into n plus 1 by 2 plus 2 into 2n plus 1. How I got here? So n plus 1 factor can be written as n plus 1 into n factor. Get cancelled. N plus 1 are written. Here n plus 1 factorial again can be written as n plus 1 into n factorial. N factorial get cancelled, remaining n plus 1 return here. Here 2n plus 2 factorial can be written as 2n plus 2 into 2n plus 1 into 2n factorial. So that get cancelled, rest are return. Now let us take let us apply the limits as n tends to infinity. You take n outside, here is n outside, so n square, here is n take it outside, n square get cancelled. 4 into 1 plus 1 by n, that is 0 is 4 we have, yeah, here. Here also 1 we have. I think we'll get 1. So L is equal to 1, the ratio test fails. If L is 1, the limit point is 1, the ratio test fails. So now we should move to the some other test to see whether series is convergent or not. So let us apply the nth term test. So let us take the limit as n tends to infinity for an. So here you can observe, so numerator is bigger than the denominator. So this numerator goes very faster when compared to the denominator. Therefore, it never goes to 0. Is not equal to 0. By using the nth term test, you can conclude that the given series is divergent. Let us take some more examples. Take the first example. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity 5 power n by n factorial. So this series has n factorial, so that the ratio test is appropriate. So I've taken the n plus 1 term and ratio of n plus 1 and nth term of the series. So we have 5 by, after simplification, 5 by n plus 1. When you approach n tends to infinity, that goes to 0. L is 0, so less than 1. Therefore, the given series is convergent by using the ratio test. Let us take second example. So this series also has the factorial, so that ratio test is appropriate. So I've taken the ratio of the n plus 1 term and nth term. Take the limit as n tends to infinity. After simplification, we have n plus 1 by e. So n plus 1 is bigger than e. Numerator goes faster when compared to e, but e is a constant term. So when n tends to infinity, that goes to infinity. So L is infinity, that is a greater than 1. Therefore, the given series is divergent by the ratio test. Let us move to third example. Summation of n is equal to 1 to infinity n plus 1 into n plus 2 by n factorial. Again, this series has the factorial, so therefore the ratio test is suitable. So we have taken the ratio of the nth term and n plus 1 term. So then after simplifying, we have n plus 3 by n plus 1 whole square. When you take the limit as n tends to infinity, so this goes to 0 because denominator is bigger than the numerator. When you apply the n tends to infinity, that goes to 0. So L is equal to 0, that is less than 1. Therefore, the given series is convergent by the ratio test. Let us move to fourth problem. N into 2 power n, n into 2 power n into n plus 1 factorial by 3 power n into n factorial. When this series also has a factorial, therefore the ratio test is suitable. I've taken the ratio of nth term and n plus 1 term here. So limit as n tends to infinity 2 into n plus 2 by 3n. N get cancelled. We have a limits 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is 2 by 3 is less than 1. 2 by 3 is less than 1. So the series is what? Convergent by using the ratio test. Let us take fifth one. Summation of n is equal to 1 to infinity n factor by 2n plus 1 factor. This series has also the factorial. Therefore, the ratio test is appropriate. I've taken the ratios of nth term and n plus 1 term. After simplification, we have n plus 1 by 2n plus 3 into 2n plus 2. When you take the n test to infinity, so this is bigger than the numerator. This goes to 0 when n increases. So that is less than 1. Therefore, the series is convergent by using the ratio test. Let us move to sixth problem. Summation of n is equal to 1 to infinity n factorial by n power n. N power n. So this series has the factorial. Therefore, the ratio test is appropriate. Take the ratio of n plus 1 term and nth term. So limit as n tends to infinity n power n by n plus 1 whole power n. N take it outside. So we have n power n and n power n get cancel. 1 by 1 plus 1 by n whole power n. So this can be written as a e. So 1 by e is less than 1. So therefore the series is convergent by using the ratio test. So here is seventh problem. N is equal to 0 to infinity 2 power n plus 5 by 3 power n. But even though this series does not have any factorial, then you can apply some other test also. Even though you can go through that ratio test. So ratio taken n plus 1 by n as n tends to infinity. After simplification, we have when n tends to infinity. So that is what 2 by 3. Take 2 power n outside. Remain 2 plus 5 by 2 power n. 2 power n take it outside. 1 plus 5 by 2 power n. When apply n tends to infinity, this becomes 0. This becomes 0 here. Here we have 2 and 3 we have here. So we'll get 2 by 3. 2 by 3 again less than 1. The series is convergent by using the ratio test. Let us take eighth problem. N is equal to 1 to infinity 2 power n by n factor. This series has factorial. Therefore, ratio test is suitable. Take the ratios of the n plus 1 term and nth term. So after simplifying, we have limit as n tends to infinity of 2 by n plus 1 factor. So this is bigger than the numerator. When n increases, it goes to 0. That is a L. L is less than 1. 0 is less than 1. Therefore, the series has convergent by using the ratio test. Let us move to some more examples. Consider this series. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity 3 power n by n square 2 power n. I think this series has power as a n. Power is n. Here also power is n. So that here, so the root test is appropriate. So I consider n term is 3 power n by n square into 2 power n is a positive for all n greater than 1. Let us apply the root test. No, because so this has the power as n. Okay. Now take the root test statement here. Limit as n tends to infinity of n o to the power 1 by n. So n are written here. N get cancelled. N and 1 by n get cancelled power. So rest is 3 by n to the power 1 by n whole square into 2. So when limit as n tends to infinity for this is 1 in fact. Here 3 by 2, 3 by 2, 3 actually this is wrong. 3 by 2, 3 by 2 is less than 1. The series is 3 by 2 is less than 1. The series is convergent. The root test here. Let us take the next series here. Consider the series sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 minus 3 by n whole power n. Again the power is n. So that root test is appropriate. We take n is 1 minus 3 by n whole power n. So this is a positive for all n greater than or equal to 1. So now we take an to the power 1 by n as n tends to infinity. An is 1 minus 3 by n whole power n to the power of 1 by n for the statement of the root test here. So n and 1 by n get cancelled. Remaining is 1 minus 3 by n as n tends to infinity. When n goes to infinity, this goes to 0. That is 1. L is 1. The test fails. The test fails, then we can apply any other test. So here I am applying the nth root test. So when n tends to infinity for n, so this is equal to 1 in fact. So it's not equal to 0. Therefore the series is diverges by nth term test. If there is 0, that it converges, but this is a test for the only for divergence. Let us take some more example. Some of the series as n is equal to 1 to infinity nth root of 3 minus 1 whole power n. Again, this series has the power n, so therefore the root test is appropriate. I've taken the statement of that n would the power 1 by n as n test infinity. So here n and 1 by n cancel. The rest is nth root 3, nth root of 3 minus 1. So when you take n test infinity, so this becomes 1, 1 minus 1, 0. So 0 is less than 1. Therefore, the series is convergent by the root test. Let us take a second example. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity n by n plus 2 whole 4 n square. Nth term is this. I've taken the, because the power has a n, so therefore the root test is appropriate here. So take the limit as n tends to infinity of this term, n by n plus 2 whole 4 n square, and n square and 1 by n get cancelled, that is n. So generally n take it outside, 1 by 1 plus n into 1 plus 2 by n. So this can be written as e square, 1 by square, n and get cancelled, so it is e square. 1 by e square is less than 1, therefore the series is convergent by the root test. Let us move to the third problem. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity n power 10 by 10 to the power of n. So nth term is this. Let us apply the root test because power has n. So limit of an as n tends to infinity whole power 1 by n. So nth term I written here. So here n and 1 by n cancel. So limit as n tends to infinity n to the power of 1 by n whole power 10. So this is 1 in fact. 1 to the power of 10 is 1 by 10. So that is less than 1. So therefore the series is convergent by the root test. Let us take fourth one. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity log n by n whole power n. Again, the root test is appropriate because of power as n. So this implies limit as n tends to infinity log n by n whole power n to the power of 1 by n. So n and 1 by n get cancel in the power. So we have only log n by n. So this is the log n by n is when you apply the n tends to infinity, that is the infinity by infinity form, can apply the L'Hospital rule. So log n differentiation 1 by n differentiation 1. So 1 by n, when n tends to infinity for 1 by n, that goes to 0 less than 1. Therefore, the series is convergent by the root test. Let us take fifth one. N is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by log 2 whole power n. So nth term is this. Anyway, power as n. So let us apply the root test here. Limit of an as n tends to whole to the power of 1 by n. So this can be written as 1 by log 2 as n tends to t. N and 1 by n get cancelled. 1 by log 2 is greater than 1. Therefore, the series is divergent by the root test. So let us take next series. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity n by 3n plus 1 whole power n. Here nth term is this. Let us apply the limits as n tends to infinity. N by 3n plus 1 whole power n to the power of 1 by n. 1 by n and into n get cancelled. Only this here n take it outside. N get cancelled. Only we have when you apply limits as n tends to infinity. So limit is 1 by 3. That goes to 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is less than 1. Therefore, the series is convergent by the root test. So let us take the series sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity 2 plus minus 1 to the power of n by 1.25 whole power n. Anyway, the power as n. So let us apply the root test here. So n is this. Now, so 1.25 whole power n and 1 by n get cancelled. The constant is 1.25. So this goes to 1. This goes to 1 when n increases to infinity. So this 1.2, 1 by 1.25 again less than 1. Therefore, the series is convergent by the root test. Right. So let us consider the next series. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity sin square n by 2 power n. So nth term is this. Let us apply the root test here because the power as n. So here limit as n tends to infinity sin square n to the power of 1 by n because of this statement of the root test. 2 power n whole power n get cancelled. Only rest is 2. Constant is 2. So sin square n goes to always 1 when n increases. Okay, so 1 to the power of 1 by n as n tends to infinity, there is always 1, that is 2 written, 1 by 2 less than 1. So therefore the series is convergent by the root test. Let us take next example. N is equal, sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity n square by 2 power n. We take nth term is n square by 2 power n. I think anyway this series has the power n, so the root test is suitable here. Take the statement of root test. Limit as n tends to infinity of n o to the power of 1 by n. N is this here. I think n square o to the power of 1 by n and 2 power n whole power n, that is 2 here. So this goes when n tends to infinity, or this goes to 1 by 2 here. So that is 1 by 2 is the limit point of this this term. So 1 by 2 less than 1. So therefore by using the root test, so this series is convergent. Let us consider the next series. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity 2 power n by n square. Nth term is this. Again this series has the power n. Let us apply the root test here. So we have like this 2 by into the power of 2 by n. So when n tends to infinity for this term, this goes to 1. 2 by 1 is greater than 1. Therefore the series is divergent by the root test. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by 1 plus n whole power n. This series has again the power n. So therefore the root test is appropriate here. Limit as n tends to infinity of an. An is 1 by 1 plus 1 whole power n is there. Power n whole power 1 by n get cancelled. Only remaining this, when you take n tends to infinity, this goes to 0. So that is less than 1. Therefore the series is convergent by the root test. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by 10 power n. So again this series has the power n. Here you can apply the root test. Even you can apply the geometric series. This is because this is being a geometric series 1 by 10. R is equal to ratio is 1 by 10 less than 1. This series being a this series is convergent for 1 by 10 less than 1. Yes. Otherwise you can apply the root test here. Anyway, 1 by 10 to the power of n whole power 1 by n get cancelled in the power. So 1 by 10 less than 1. So this series is convergent by the root test. Or we can tell that, we can conclude that by observing the geometric series also it is being geometric series. R is 1 by 10 less than 1, it converges. Again 2 by 3 whole power n. Again it is being a geometric series, it converges. R ratio is 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is less than 1, is a convergent series. Or you can, this series has the power n, so you can apply the root test. So n and 1 by n cancel. So when n tends to infinity of 2 by 3 is constant less than 1, the series is convergent by the root test. Now let us move to the alternating series. So so far we studied convergence of the series only for the positive series. Here I consider the alternating series. But here A1, A2, A3, A4, etc., etc. These are all positive terms, but only here sign changes alternatively, plus minus like this. So an alternating series of the form like this you can write A1 minus A2 plus A3 minus A4 plus minus etc. Nothing but alternating series, where A1, A2, A3, A4 are the positive terms. Let us take the example of alternative series. The harmonic alternative series is of the form 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 plus minus like this goes. This is the alternating harmonic series. Let us verify whether the alternative series convergent or not. So by the help of the Lipin's theorem, we can see that, we can observe that whether the series is alternative series is convergent or not convergent. So the series of the form, so it is a alternative series. This alternative series converges if each n must be positive for all n. Already I told you that n always positive, only sign changes in this series. n must be the positive for all n. And second condition is an minus an plus 1 is always positive for all n. It means, so always should be decreasing sequence. An minus an plus 1 always positive for all n. Third condition is limit as n-infinity of n term is goes to 0. So if all the three conditions are satisfied, you can conclude that the given alternating series is convergent by using the Leibniz test. Let us take some examples. Consider the series sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 by n. It is being a alternating series when n is equal to 1, 1 by 1, when n is 2, minus 1 by 2, like this it goes. It is an alternating series. Let us apply the Leibniz test whether the series is convergent or not. Here n is equal to 1 by n are taken. n plus 1 term is n plus 1 term is 1 by n plus 1. Replace n by n plus 1 here, we get n plus 1 term. Let us check the condition of Leibniz test. Let us check the first condition. An 1 by n. 1 by n is positive for all n greater than equal to 1. You take n is equal to 1, 1, n is equal to 1 by 2 is positive. When n is 3, 1 by 3 is positive. So an is positive for all n greater than equal to 1. Let us take the second condition of the Leibniz theorem. An minus an plus 1. Consider this. An is 1 by n. An plus 1 is 1 by n plus 1. Let us take the LCM. N into n plus 1. Cross multiply n plus 1 minus n. N minus n get cancel. 1 by n into n plus 1. So this is 1 by n into n plus 1 is positive for all n greater than equal to 1. For example, n is 1. 1 by 1 into 2 is a positive. Like this, for all n greater than equal to 1, it is a positive. So second condition is also satisfied. Let us take n goes to infinity for an. Limit as n times infinity of 1 by n. So anyway, that denominator is bigger than numerator. So this goes very faster when compared to numerator. So when n increases, this term goes to 0. Yes, all the three conditions of the Leibniz theorem satisfied. Therefore, the given alternative series is convergent. Let us move to the definition of absolutely convergent. A series an is said to be absolutely convergent. So it is alternating series which are written here, absolutely convergent if absolute series also converges. It means what is absolute series? To convert whatever, wherever the negative series you have to convert into positive, it becomes automatically positive series. Nothing but it's the absolute series. So this absolute series is converges. Then we can tell that, we can conclude that the given alternating series is absolutely convergent. If alternating series convergent and absolute series also convergent, then we can conclude that the given alternating series is absolutely convergent. So what is conditionally convergent? If the alternating series is convergent, but absolute series is diverges. If absolute diverges and alternating series convergent, then we can conclude that the given series is conditionally convergent. Let us take some example. Consider the alternating series. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 by n factorial, where an is 1 by n square. First, let us check whether this series is convergent or not, alternating convergent or not. If it is convergent, let us go for whether this series is absolutely convergent or conditionally convergent. Let us apply the Leibniz test here. An is 1 by n square. N plus 1 term is 1 by n plus 1 whole square. Anyway, an is positive for all n greater than equal to 1. 1 by n square is positive for all n greater than equal to 1, 2, 3 like this. It is positive. Let us take the second condition of the Leibniz test. An minus n plus 1. So an is 1 by n square. An plus 1 is 1 by n plus 1 whole square. Take LCM. We have like this. 2n plus 1 by n square into n plus 1 square. So this is a positive term. The positive term for all n greater than or equal to 1. Therefore, second condition of the Leibniz test also satisfied. Let us move to the third condition of the Leibniz test. Take the limit as n test infinity of nth term. So this goes to 0. When n test infinity, so denominator goes to increases, therefore that whole term becomes 0. So all the three conditions of the Leibniz theorem verified. Therefore, the given alternating series is convergent by using Leibniz test. Let us take the absolute series. So here take a modulus of this series here. So my modulus of minus n also becomes plus. So this becomes positive series. This is a positive series. So this being a positive series, and moreover it is of the form what? P series, and P is equal to 2, 2 is greater than 1. Therefore, this positive series is absolute series is convergent by using P series test. So therefore, the given alternating series is absolutely convergent. Why? Because alternating series is convergent by using Leibniz test. Absolute series is convergent by using P series test. Therefore, the given alternative series is absolutely convergent. Let us take next example, second example. Consider the alternating series sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 by 1 into 1 by square root of n, where nth term is 1 by root n. We shall apply the Leibniz test. Let us define the n plus 1 term, replace n by n plus 1 for nth term. We have this n plus 1 term. Let us verify the conditions of the Leibniz test. First condition is an is 1 by square root of n. It is positive for all n greater than or equal to 1. Let us go to second condition. An minus n plus 1, that is equal to 1 by root n. This is the nth term. This is n plus 1 term. Take the LCM. See that. So this is bigger than this value. Obviously, this is a positive. This is a positive. So whole term is positive for all n greater than or equal to 1. Therefore, second condition is also verified. Let us move to third condition of the Leibniz test. So take the limit as intensity of nth term. So this goes to 0 because denominator goes increases. So whole term goes to decreases, that goes to 0. So all the three conditions of the Leibniz theorem verified. Therefore, the given alternative series is convergent by using the Leibniz test. Let us see whether the given series is absolutely convergent or conditionally convergent. Now let us take the modulus of this whole series becomes positive series written here. So this is a positive series. It is being a P series. It is being a P series. P is equal to half. P is equal to half. So half is less than 1. So by using P series test, the object series is divergent. So therefore, you can conclude that the given alternative series is conditionally convergent because the given alternative series is convergent by using Leibniz test. So absolute series is divergent by using P series test. So therefore, the given alternative series is conditionally convergent. So let us move to the next example. Consider the alternative series sum of n is equal to 2 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 into log n by log n square base e here. So it is being a alternating series. Let us apply the Leibniz test where nth term is log n by log n square, n plus 1 term is this here. So let us verify the conditions of the Leibniz test here. So log n by log n square, only 1 by log n. So it is a positive for all n greater than or equal to 2. So first condition is verified. Let us go for second condition. N minus n plus 1. Let us see that nth term minus this term, take the LCM. So log n plus 1 minus log n, again it is a positive for all n greater than equal to 2. So this is bigger than of this. This is a positive. Anyway, this is positive. So whole term is positive for all n greater than equal to 0. Sorry, for all n greater than equal to 2. So let us verify the third conditions of the Libet's theorem. Let us take limit as n tends to infinity of an. So log n by log n square. Log n get cancelled. Sorry, yeah, means log n by 2 log n we can add. Log n get cancelled here. 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is not equal to 0. Always. So third condition of the Libet's theorem failed. So a should always goes to 0 when n tends to infinity. This condition is failed. Therefore, the alternating series is not convergent. If the series is not convergent, so no need to check whether the series is what? Absolutely convergent or conditionally convergent. The series is convergent, you can see that whether the series is absolute convergent or conditionally convergent. So here it is ruled out. So because it is being a not convergent series, so you can conclude that the given alternate series is not convergent. Let us take some more examples. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 by n cube. It is being a alternating series where n is 1 by n cube. Anyway, this is the 1 by n cube is positive. First condition is verified. Let us go for second condition. Second condition is also verified. That is a greater than 0. You can see that here for all n greater equal to 1. And let us take the absolute series. What is the absolute series here? Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by n cube. So 1 by n cube is being a p series with p is equal to 3. 3 is greater than 1. Therefore, the p series convergent. The p series convergent. Therefore, 1 by n cube is convergent series. Absolute series convergent. Alternate series is convergent. Therefore, the given alternate series is absolutely convergent. Let us take second example. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 into n by 10 whole power n. So where nth term is this n by 10 whole power n. Anyway, when n increases, means nth term is positive for all n greater than or equal to 1. First condition is verified. Let us take second condition of the Libet's test. N minus n plus 1. We can, after simplifying, we have like this: n power n into 10 minus n by 10 to the power of n plus 1. So this is bigger than when compared to this. So anyway, this is a positive terms. This is a positive terms. Therefore, okay, this is positive term. Okay, third second condition is also verified. Let us move to third conditions. So when n tends to infinity, of this series here, yes, okay, this is not convergent because when n tends to infinity, this goes to not 0. Therefore, this given series is not a convergent. So I think this is not conditionally convergent here. Let us move to the third problem. Sum of n is equal to 2 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 into 1 by log n. So anyway, where n is equal to 1 by log n, this is a positive term for all n greater than or equal to 2 here. And let us take the second condition of Libet's theorem. N minus n plus 1, like this: log of n plus 1 minus log n. This is a positive, this is also positive, therefore whole term is positive. Second condition also verified. Then we take the limit as n tends to of nth term. So 1 by infinity, that is 0. Yes. So therefore, the given series is convergent, alternate series convergent. Let us see whether the series is absolute convergent or not, or conditionally convergent. So let us define the absolute series. No, what is absolute series? Sum of n is equal to 2 to infinity. This becomes positive 1 by log n. 1 by log n again. 1 by log n is less than 1 by n. So 1 by n is the a series if I write 1 by n is being a harmonic series diverges. The series diverges, Abelian series diverges, but alternate series is convergent. So therefore, you can conclude that the given alternate series is conditionally convergent because absolute series is divergent, but alternate series is convergent. Yes, therefore conclude that so this series is conditionally convergent. But this is not a condition. This fails to be convergent alternate series. Now let us move to fourth one. Sum of n is equal to 2 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 into log n by log n square. Again, it fails to be, you know, nth term. Nth term. When you take n is equal to infinity of nth term, this goes to 1 by 2, not equal to 0. Therefore, the series itself is not convergent. So no need to see whether the series is absolutely convergent or conditionally convergent. Already you have seen earlier, in fact. Sum of n is equal to 2 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 into square root of n plus 1 by n plus 1. So anyway, this is a positive series for all n greater than or equal to 2. Let us see second condition of the Leibniz test, n minus n plus 1. So after simplifying, we have this positive. This is bigger than this value. So this anyway, this is positive. Whole term is positive for all n greater than or equal to 0. Okay, this is positive for all n greater than or equal to 2 here. So second condition also verified. Even third condition of the Leibniz test also verified. When n tends to infinity of this term, you know, so this is bigger than when compared to numerator. Obviously this goes to 0 when n tends to infinity, and then third condition is also verified. So therefore the given series is, you know, convergent. Alternate series is convergent, but you have to see that whether the series is absolute convergent or conditionally convergent. Let us define the absolute series now. So when you consider absolute series, you know, the series becomes sum of n is equal to 2 to infinity. This becomes plus here root of n plus 1 by n plus 1. Let us apply the comparison test whether series is convergent or not here. So it is being a rational function. So bn we can define degree of numerator of n to the power of degree of denominator is 1 root n by n. So therefore bn is equal to 1 by root n square root of n square root of n. So it is being a p series with p is equal to half, that is less than 1. Therefore the series is divergent. Absolute series divergent. Therefore the given alternate series is a conditionally convergent. Let us take sixth problem. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 into 1 by 10 whole power n. So anyway, this is a positive. First condition verified. Second condition 9 by 10 to the power of n plus. Again, it is being a positive for all n greater than equal to 1. And this goes to when n tends to infinity of this n term. This is not, I think, goes to 0. I think this is not a convergent series. This is not a convergent series. Okay, let us move to. I think this is not absolute convergent. This is not a convergent, first of all. So let us move to next problem here. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 n square by n to the power of 4 plus 1 here. So nth term is positive for all n greater than equal to 1. Let us take the second condition of Leibniz theorem, n minus n plus 1. Again, it is a positive for all n greater than equal to 1. And n term goes to 0 when n tends to infinity. Third condition also verified. So therefore the given series is convergent. Let us see whether the series is absolutely convergent or conditionally convergent. So this nth term is being a rational function of n. Let us define the bn. Bn is n square because degree of numerator is n square, 2 is there. So that is n square by here degree of numerator is 4, n square by n to the power of 4. So bn becomes 1 by n square. So let us set the corresponding series. The series is being a p series with p is equal to 2 greater than 1. Therefore the series is convergent. If the object series is convergent, you can conclude that the given alternate series is absolutely convergent. Let us define the Let us move to second next problem. Sum of n is equal to 2 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1 into 3 plus n by 5 plus n. I think this is not a convergent because n term goes to 1 when n tends to infinity. Therefore, the given alternative series is not convergent. Let us move to next problem. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power of n plus 1, 1 plus n by n square. So this is a positive. First condition verified. Second condition is n minus n plus 1. Again, it is a positive. This is bigger than this value. Again, denominator is positive. Whole term is positive for all n greater than equal to 1. Third condition is, let us verify. Yes, 1 plus n is smaller than when compared to denominator. When n tends to infinity, this goes to 0. So third condition is also verified. Therefore, the given series is alternative series is convergent. Let us see whether the object series is convergent or not. So object series is sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity. This becomes plus here 1 by 1 plus n by n square. So this can be written as 1 by n square plus 1 by n. But whereas series 1 by n square is a convergent series with p is equal to 2 is greater than 1, it is a convergent. 1 by n is a divergent. So therefore, the whole series is divergent series. Therefore, the given series is conditionally convergent. Let us take next problem. Sum of n is equal to 1 to infinity sin n by n square. Sin n is always use alternating values for n increases. So it is being an alternative series. I think this being an alternative series is a convergent. One can define the, we can verify all the conditions of the Leibniz theorem. Convergent. Let us define the opposite series. Modulus of sin n by n square. N is like this. So we can compare with 1 by n. This is less than or equal to 1 by n square. Modulus of sin n is always goes to 1. So that I written here n square as it is written. So this term is less than or equal to 1 by n square. So this being a this being a p series converges because p is equal to 2 is greater than 1, it is being converges. Therefore, the given alternative series is absolute convergence. I think so. These are the problems. One can see that whether the series is alternative series convergent or not. The series is convergent. One can see that whether the given series is absolutely convergent or conditionally convergent. So one can see like this. So let us wind up this video. So thank you.